we're going to finish off the bike now. We're going to put the front wheel on, check the stem steer head bearings, and swap out the grips. So here's the wheel, as we've seen. Dog's in the way again. Dog's been an idiot. Pop the wheel in. I've loosened up the caliper, make life a little bit easier. There we go. Does help if I put the spindle in the right way, doesn't it? Spindle's all greased. Allen key. And Bosch. Front wheel on. Happy days. That'll be the one. Cut the squeezes on that. Squeeze it in whilst you apply a bit of pressure. This will hopefully be fairly central. Rear is a bit warped. I don't have a de-warping tool as such, so I'm just going to have to suck it up. So the front, by the sounds of things, from the move. That'll do. Look at that, moves nice and freely. Happy days. Maybe a few runs that'd bed in a bit better anyway. Woo, look at it. So let's carry on this fitting the bottom bracket for the drivetrain. Then we can get the rear wheel on and we can go from there. Oh, a bit of grease. Oh, that grease has got a bit manky. A bit of grease on the bottom bracket threads. Bosch done. Got to try and remember which side goes where now. I've forgotten. Oh well, we'll find out, won't we? Bottom bracket. So bottom bracket's now in. Still need to tighten it up. There we go. Still need to tighten the old girl up. Get that on there. Get the cranks on. Rear wheel on, chain on, bish bash bosh, done. Rear will be done, and obviously I've cleaned up inside as well. Look, the old muck off since shine. It's come up all right. So I've done that whilst the pads are out, so I didn't get no muck on there on the pads. And right, let's get the rear wheel on. Well, I'll get that tightened up. Get the cranks on. You know how the cranks go on, but I might try and do it one-handed for you without. Bottom bracket's tightened up. Let's get these cranks on. There's one. One on. There's the other one, the shiny new one. In case you're wondering how much I think this one cost me about £50, I think. Subscribe, you know you want to. The voice in your head are telling you to. Again, I'll crank those up, but I can't do that whilst I'm holding the camera. So next thing, we'll be getting the back wheel on. We're nearly there, look at that. Silence. Lovely. Again, bit of grease. Put that in the pot. So try and do this whilst I hold the spindle as well. Also, it could be sensible and probably put it on the floor. But no, look at that. First time. Bosch. Spindle through. Near as a perk for having a big belly. And and we should be ready to put the chain on and realign the caliper. And we are laughing. Bosh! Or can you hear that moving around? So we'll realign the caliper, pop the chain on, rear will be done. Yeah! So battery's running low on this now as well. Oh dear. Anyway, pop that through there. So, one link in, two links in, release that. And that is that done. Obviously I'm going to realign the gears, but I've done a video on that on my gravel bike conversion, so you can go back to that if you want. Have a look at that. Happy days. Make some adjustments to the rear caliper. Rear done. Happy days. I'll be popping the front wheel in, but obviously this part, oh, I forgot what part this part is. Anyway, that's a drivetrain part. Drivetrain is now done. Realign the caliper, realign the front caliper, put the front wheel on, redo the stem bearings, which will be in part 3 I think, or part 2, depending which way I put all this around. Anyway, I'll shut up before the battery goes dead and I'll run out of memory. I'll catch you on the next part. Hello, future Adrian here. You're probably wondering what's happening to my fourth and maybe final part of my Norco recommission rebuild project. Well, on doing the final editing a couple of weeks ago for the final bit, what I thought was the final bit, I realised I didn't put in that I oiled the chain. Luckily I've not ridden the bike since I've done all this, so it's still sat in my shed, and currently you're sat on it with a little clamp thing. So we're going to get over to the oiling of the chain, and I'll show you a little trick I like to do with my fork stanchions and the rear shock as well. It's something I've learned from other YouTubers, Seth, Phil, you know, Gmbn and all that. It's a little trick that keeps your stanchions and all that in tip-top shape, and the seals in tip-top shape. Alright, so here we go now. I apologise this hasn't been put up sooner. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Let's get cracking. So not quite sure how well you can see that rear shock. It's literally immaculate still, but I want to get any dust off just in case. I like to wipe it up. So if there is any grit on there, you wipe it up. Oh, let me pull the bike over. It's not on the stand at the moment. Thought I'd show you this bit first. And then we'll go over to the fork stanchions. I'll do exactly the same thing. Clean cloth, wipe up. Wipe up. I'll do the same the other side. Wipe up. Just to get rid of any dust that may be on there, for a little trick that I like to do. I've done this on motorbikes before as well, back in the day. So cloth is now done. Now what I like to do, oh gosh, but if I also the tip again, lube. Drop a lube. Drop a lube on there. Right, so that will let that penetrate into there a bit. Same again around the front stanchions. You really don't need a lot. I'll probably put way too much on. With a clean finger, wipe it around there, let it all guide down. Same again on the other side. and then compress your shocks, front and rear, compress them. So on the bike, get that oil running up and down now. It just lubes up the older stanchions a bit. We like a bit of lube, don't we, lads? That's things gliding a bit easier. You know what I mean? So there we go. There is that bit done. Da da da. Now we'll get on to lubing the chain. And so those that watch this video can't moan at me. You didn't leave your chain. You're going to see me lube it. Here we go. I'm going to use a bit of muck off a dry lube. Dry oil. Because here in the UK it's getting to that time of year we get a bit less rain. So I'm literally going to run the chain around very slowly. Oh, I say very slow, it's dripping away already. So I'll try and get every link. Now I'm going to do the inside of the chain. Now I like to run a bit up and down the rear sprocket. Then I like to run it through. Happy days. That is that. I'll have a little adjustment of that. So hopefully now you can't moan, oh, you didn't leave up the chain, didn't leave up the chain. Well, I just did. Concludes the finishing of my Norco. It is done. All oiled up, all lubed up, all ready to rock and roll. And yeah. So next time I take it out, I'll try and take you guys with me. If I break it, you can laugh at me. If I fall off, you can laugh at me. But hopefully none of that will happen. And we'll have a good time out together. And I'll see you all then. Goodbye for now. Buenos noches. Adios amigos.